Well, hello. Welcome to a new episode. I'm kind of sick today. My nose is all blocked up and got a really bad sore throat. So if I sound a little funny, I apologize. We're going to talk about Colossians chapter 3 today. And so it occurred to me, I was just reading my normal readings like I try to do every day. And it occurred to me that Colossians 3 seems to be a short, quick handbook for how to live the Christian life. I mean, it has everything inside this little tiny chapter. It says, that how to live for God and not for the world. That was one of the things. It says how to live with each other and be happy with each other. What are wives supposed to do? What are husbands supposed to do? What are children supposed to do? What are fathers supposed to do? What are servants supposed to do? So in this little, you know, quick ideas, you get all of this in one chapter. So I hope we can all learn together. Colossians chapter 3. Colossians 3:1. If then you were raised together with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is, seated on the right hand of God. Set your mind on the things that are above, not on the things that are on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, our life, is revealed, then you will also be revealed with him in glory. Put to death, therefore, your members which are on the earth: sexual immorality, uncleanness, depraved passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For these things' sake, the wrath of God comes on the children of disobedience. You also once walked in those when you lived in them. But now you also put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and shameful speaking out of your mouth. Don't lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his doings, and have put on the new man, who is being renewed in knowledge after the image of his Creator, where there can't be Greek and Jew, circumcision and uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bondservant, or free person, but Christ is all, and in all. Put on, therefore, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, a heart of compassion, kindness, lowliness, humility, and perseverance, bearing with one another and forgiving each other, if any man has a complaint against any. Even as Christ forgave you, so you also do. Above all these things, walk in love, which is the bond of perfection. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to which also you were called in one body, and be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your heart to the Lord. Whatever you do, in word or in deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Wives, be in subjection to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives, and don't be bitter against them. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, don't provoke your children, so that they won't be discouraged. Servants, Obey in all things those who are your masters according to the flesh, not just when they are looking as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. And whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ. But he who does wrong will receive again for the wrong that he has done, and there is no partiality. May God add blessing to the reading of his word. So what do we learn from Colossians chapter 3? Well, in 3 verse 2, set your mind on the things that are above, not on the things that are on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, our life, is revealed, then you will also be revealed with him in glory. So, don't be earthly, be heavenly. And then it says, well, if you're going to do that, verse 5, you need to get rid of all the earthly things like sexual immorality, uncleanness, passion, evil desire, covetousness, idolatry. So these are why the wrath of God comes on him. And to live with people, you need to get rid of anger, wrath, malice, slander, shameful speaking. Kind of stuff we know. And then in verse 9, don't lie to one another. Just simple, good advice. And how are you supposed to live more heavenly towards God? Well, it says having a heart of compassion, kindness, lowliness, humility, and perseverance. Kind of like the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, self control. So, same kind of list here, you know? And then it says in verse 14, above all these things, walk in love, you know? And then the peace of God will rule in your hearts. And if you don't have peace in your heart, you can go back up to these lists. Which am I clinging to? Which am I refusing to do? And then these quick little one-liners, how to deal with people, like wives, be in subjection to your husbands, as is fitting the Lord. But husbands, love your wives, and don't be bitter against them. Children, obey your parents, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, don't provoke your children so that they won't be discouraged. Talks to me being a father, and sometimes as my son grows up, I'm a little, you know, it's not the same as when he was younger. He starts to pull away and have his own thing that he does. And I want him to be closer to me. But don't provoke him. Let him be. Let him grow up. He's doing fine. And then servants do all things, you know, um, 22. Servants obey in all things those who are your masters according to the flesh, not just when they are looking as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. There's a lot of examples of this in the Old Testament where they did these things and God, or even their masters, raised them up to really high positions. But they may not do that. I'm always reminded of Uncle Tom's Cabin, where, Uncle Tom was a slave and he tried to be nice to his master, Simon Legree, and he just tried to raise him up, but to a very evil position to do evil to other people. so, hmm. so some good ways of being here. How do we not live lowly for the earth, but we live in high expectation of Jesus coming? Let's continue to learn together.